You are listening to Viewpoints from Place Cloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
You're standing on Long-Acre, a street running from St Martin's Lane eastwards to Drury Lane, which now is in the middle of London's bustling West End. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Long-Acre was the beating heart of London's, and indeed England's, carriage-making industry. In the busy carriage workshops of Long-Acre, some of the most expensive and elaborate carriages in the world were made for the Empress of Russia, Catherine the Great, and the Nawab of Arcot, the ruler of the Carnatic region of South India. These costly commissions attracted intrigued Londoners and international visitors alike. The precursor to the modern car showroom, Long-Acre's coachmakers would display their best coaches in their workshop windows, and many of their very best models lined the pavement of the narrow, humming street. This viewpoint is going to introduce you to Long-Acre's coach-producing history and one of 18th century London's premier coachmakers, John Hatchett. Long-Acre's location enabled coachmakers to put out work to the City of London's older medieval trades, such as ironmongers and saddlers, whilst attracting wealthy customers from the developing West End. Over time, specialised trades associated with coach building, such as gilders, coach painters, coach heraldry painters, coach carvers, coach wheel makers, and coach lamp, spring, and axle-tree makers, emerged in close proximity to Long-Acre. This is a manufacturing system called subcontracting, and is very similar to our modern supply chains. The specialised skills and processes required in manufacturing the different coach components meant that the coachmaker was in fact a central organising figure in a wide-reaching network of specialist artisans. Rather than a cost-cutting measure, subcontracting in the production of luxury, bespoke goods such as coaches ensured that quality, individuality, craftsmanship, and artistic attributes defined the finished product. Coachmakers' workshops were more of an assembly point of parts than a centralised production space. One of the most famous and innovative coachmakers in Long-Acre was John Hatchett. For the remainder of this viewpoint, I'm going to focus on Hatchett, his workshop, and some of the carriages he produced. Famous coachmaker William Felton wrote that coachmakers were highly indebted to Hatchett's innovative improvements to carriage design since the 1770s, and that they, quote, seldom build without copying his designs. He stands justly distinguished, end quote. Hatchett had many royal patrons, including the royal dukes of Gloucester and Cumberland, and he proudly displayed them on his 1783 advertising trade card. Economic historians have argued that subcontracting enabled the dirtier work to be put out to specialist artisans. Therefore, coachmakers' workshops often doubled as luxurious retail premises and showrooms. Hatchett opened his workshop to visitors when working on opulent coaches for the Nawab of Arcot and Catherine the Great. Intrigued Londoners made outings to Hatchett, expressly to see the Nawab's costly commissions. In 1778, one wrote to his brother that, "This morning I have been to Hatchett's, a coachmaker, to see a kind of state coach which is going to the Nawab of Arcot. It is very large, and the ornaments are in general good taste and well adapted. It is, on the whole, a curious and fine coach, and costs nearly £500. Whilst visiting London in 1786, German novelist Sophie von La Roche described her visit to Hatchett's workshop. We went to Hatchett, one of London's most famous master saddlers, and conducted a tour amongst a number of finished coaches. and with an inspection of some fine drawings of all kinds of vehicles. I should have liked to have taken the drawing of a coach costing 15,000 guineas made for the Nawab of Arcot along with me, or that of the Empress of Russia, or Rumbold, the Governor of the East Indies, just to have an idea of the size and magnificence of this kind of conveyance. Von Laroche describes Hatchett's full advertising arsenal of tours around the showroom and drawings for new carriages for celebrity clients. Von Laroche's description also reminds us of how Long-Acre was at the centre of a global marketplace of goods for export throughout Europe and Britain's empire. Although over the course of the 19th century, the very best coachmaking continued on Long-Acre. By the eve of the Great War in 1918, Long-Acre was filled with motorcar showrooms.